Welcome to the beautiful city of Oaxaca. In this week's video, we're going to be showing you some of the best places to dine in Oaxaca at the slightly higher price point.
We are Georgia and David. We quit our jobs to travel full-time around Mexico with our 14-year-old Sheltipu Meep. Our goal is to take a picture with her in front of 100 Pueblo signs. Alright, tonight is Valentine's Day and we're going to Asador Bacanora for dinner.
This looks like a great restaurant with a lot of cortes or cuts of meat. Looks like a good steakhouse, and we're currently staying in the Halit Laco neighborhood, and that's where this restaurant is conveniently located.
As you can see, the Halit Laco neighborhood has an abundance of amazing and colorful street art. We will be showcasing this more in next week's video. We just finished up our dinner at Asador Bacanora, and it was really delicious. We started the meal with old fashions, which are probably the best old fashions we've had in Mexico so far.
Yeah, they actually made them with Maker's Mark, which usually they're made with like Jim Beam White Label or Jack Daniels, so they're not very good. These were fantastic. Then we got the beef tongue tacos, which were also delicious. And then we each got 500 grams of steak. We got the picanha and the ribeye, and then we split them, which was plenty of food. We're quite full, but we couldn't resist dessert because the menu looked so good. So David got the chocolate mousse with mint ice cream, and I got the tres leches.
And I won.
Yeah, the tres leches was okay, but David's chocolate mousse with mint ice cream was absolutely fantastic. And I know we've said this before, but really the ribeye here was one of the best steaks we have had in Mexico. The picanha was a little lean. It definitely wasn't as good as other picanhas we've had, but the ribeye was absolutely top notch. This meal was quite expensive, but the service was fantastic and the atmosphere was great. It was a wonderful place for us to spend our Valentine's Day dinner.
All right, so we really loved our tasting there. There were a lot of options, and the service was amazing.
Our favorites were the Viejo Espadín, and then there was an Espadín that was actually distilled with Mexican chocolate. So it had like the notes of kind of like coffee and chocolate and cinnamon, and it was super good. It wasn't sweet at all because it was added before they distilled it, so there were no like residual sugars in it. Highly recommend stopping by here and doing a tasting. Like David said, options were endless, and it was very reasonably priced.
After our delicious mezcal tasting, we headed on to dinner at Los Donsantes.
Well, that meal was a lot better than I thought it would be. We kind of looked at the pictures online, and it did look a little bit pretentious. It looked like one of those restaurants where they like dress your food with tweezers, and sometimes those aren't so great.
That wasn't the case, though.
Yeah, they're more about presentation than flavor, but this place was definitely about flavor. We got two different appetizers. One had like cheese and greens and like an Indian style curry. And then the other one had pineapple pork stuffed inside of a fried plantain. It was fantastic.
Don't remember what they're called, but they were good.
For my main, I got the beef tongue, which came with pureed cauliflower, and it was super savory and very delicious.
And then I had the pork ribs, which had a black mole, and there was a white bean puree. It was absolutely delicious. Probably one of the best things I've had in Mexico.
Yeah, both really, really good. And then we finished with, of course, a chocolate lava cake and a couple carajillos. Our waiter was super friendly, really, really nice. The atmosphere was very beautiful. Overall, the experience was great. I highly recommend it. We just finished up our dinner at Ocote, and it was really, really good. We started with 3 different kinds of tacos. We got the cochinita pibil, and then we got the ribeye and the chamorro. The ribeye and the chamorro were both incredibly delicious. The cochinita was still good, but definitely was not our favorite. After that, we ordered the burger, which was good. It was definitely a handmade patty. It wasn't a frozen patty, but it wasn't as good as the tacos. We each got 2 shots of mezcal, and the total after tip was less than 1,000 pesos. One of the most well-known dishes in Oaxaca is, of course, mole. And we are getting ready to go try some tonight at
Escapulario, which is a little hard to say, but they have a mole sampler there.
So we're gonna go try it and hopefully enjoy some very delicious mole. We ordered the mole tasting, where you get to actually select 5 different moles. So we got the mole negro with chicken. We got the mole rojo with pork. We got the mancha mantel, which literally means stained tablecloth, and we got that with pork as well. I got the mole amarillo, or yellow mole, with beef, and then we got the chichilo with beef. We just finished up dinner, and that mole sampler was fantastic. It was on the smaller side, but we definitely enjoyed it. It's a great way to try a whole bunch of different moles. We got to choose 5. I think there were like 8 or 10 actually on the menu. Which one was your favorite?
The coloradito.
That one was my favorite too. It was kind of sweet and a little bit smoky and just slightly spicy. We also got the amarillo, which I think was our least favorite. Yeah. That was the yellow, and it was maybe just like a little bit too sweet. The negro was good, but surprisingly not my favorite. Normally I love that one the most. It was quite chocolatey and had a nice level of spice. The rojo was very spicy. It was definitely the spiciest one that we had. I did like it, but I felt like the spice actually maybe took away a little bit. And then the last one that we got was the tablecloth staining mole, which we both really enjoyed. I think it was our second favorite. It had pineapple and plantain, as well as beef tongue. So I would highly recommend stopping by here and seeing which mole is your favorite. It was a really great price as well. After mezcals, the tasting, and a couple of sparkling waters with tip, I think we were at 800 pesos. Yeah. So highly recommend. Well, tonight we have come to Levadura de Oya, which is a restaurant right in the centro area. We are out in their little courtyard, which is quite cute, and they let me in. They have a menu with a lot of traditional Oaxacan food, so we're looking forward to trying it. Well, everything has arrived. So I got sparkling water, and I also got a 2-ounce pour of the house Pechuga mezcal, which is very, very delicious. It has some cardamom kind of flavors to it, really good. They also brought us the homemade salsa and some tortillas. And then David got the 2 moles. He's got the coloradito with pork and the chicken with mole negro. And then I got the beef with a mole that is actually made with tortilla ash. So this should be smoky and interesting.
All right, so we just finished up dinner, and the moles here were excellent.
Yeah, I have to say the coloradito with pork was my favorite. But the beef with that tortilla ash mole was really good, and their mole negro with pollo was really good as well. We had an excellent house mezcal with that's like distilled with turkey breast or pechuga, and it was delicious. So delicious, in fact, that we ordered twice. A second round of 2-ounce pours for our dessert. But overall, I definitely recommend this place, even though it isn't necessarily that well known.
Ancestral is a popular restaurant tucked down a back alley of the Xochimilco neighborhood. They are known for their wide variety of local Oaxacan dishes.
You can probably hear behind me, we've got some live music going on now. And I have yet again ordered mole. This is the mole negro with chicken, and you can see they have some fried plantains and rice. and then I have a little side of beans here. And then David has the pork belly, which comes with the mancha mentele mole, which the waiter already poured a little bit on top. And then there's some pureed plantains. So our first course was amazing. The ceviche was absolutely delicious. The molotes were fantastic. They were actually plantains that were stuffed with cheese and then fried with a coloradito mole to pour over. And then lastly, we had the garnachas, which were little like mini sopes with pulled pork on top. And then it had like a pickled cabbage, which we didn't love as much.
We just finished up our very late lunch at Ancestral.
It was definitely kind of pricey, but we also went all out. I think we got like 5 sparkling waters, we got 3 appetizers, we each got a cocktail, we each got a mezcal, we each got an entree. So we definitely did it up. I highly recommend this place. They have a lot of dishes that we have not seen at other restaurants, and everything was cooked really well. I don't think there was a single plate that we didn't enjoy. Obviously, we like some more than others.
We're in front of Hotel Valle Oaxaca, and we're getting ready to go into Restaurant Coronita.
I read online that this restaurant, while not being fancy, has some of the best authentic Oaxacan food in the city, so we shall see. We are off to a good start. First off, we were given the menu in Spanish, which I always appreciate. And then we have a very delicious cocktail here. It is their house specialty, and it is orange, lime, and mezcal. And our order of memelas has just arrived. All right, so now we have our mole sampler. We have the chuchilo with beef. We have the rojo, also with beef. We have the verde with pork. We have the mancha mentale, also with pork. We have the almendrado with chicken. We have the coloradito with chicken. And then lastly, mole negro, also with chicken. So we are ready to dig in. This looks pretty promising.
Wow, that was the best mole tasting we've done so far.
So this is actually the 4th restaurant that we have had mole at. And at least, 4 of those moles were incredible. It was only 600 pesos to do the tasting with 7 different moles. So it was also a really great value. The service was fantastic. It was a very comfortable atmosphere. Definitely highly recommend it. I think for David, the favorite was the
mancha mantel.
Yeah, it literally means stained tablecloth curry. And then for me, it was the curry almendrado. I said curry because it tasted like curry. It had like kind of almost like a Indian or Thai spice kind of notes to it. I super enjoyed it. And then coloradito was second for both of us. So really, really delicious. Highly recommend. It is maybe a little out of the way. It's a little further out of Centro, but definitely worth coming out for.
Tonight we have a reservation at Las Quince Letras.
And that is one thing to know about Oaxaca, is that a lot of the popular restaurants do require a reservation, even if you're going to go on a weeknight. Most of the ones we've encountered, though, do have online reservation system, either through Google or through OpenTable. So at least it's an easy process. So we started our meal with the molotes, which we had earlier at Ancestral. We liked them there, and we loved them here. The plantain was softer and more ripe here. They had different meat stuffed in them, topped with crema and cheese, and then the mole coloradito was delicious. So highly recommend those. But now we both have in front of us the trio of moles with pork. It's actually pork belly. We have a little bit of a tamale here, and we have coloradito, mole negro, and the mole almendrado there. And of course, we've got some fresh tortillas.
So we just finished up our dinner at Quince Letras.
I have to say, it was really, really good. I did actually like the moles from La Coronita restaurant that we went to the other day, and obviously that restaurant was a little cheaper. But the atmosphere here was really nice at a really pretty terraza, and the food was really good. I did like that the moles could be served with chicken or pork, and if you chose pork, it was pork belly.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, very tasty. Tonight, we have a 6 o'clock dinner reservation for the Terraza here at Tierra del Sol. It is supposed to be one of the best restaurants here in the city, and it is right at 6, so we're gonna get in. So we have a lovely view from their rooftop, and we both started with the old-fashioned, which they make with Maker's Mark, and it is a very good drink. And then for our starter, we have the 3 Generations Mole, which basically just every couple days they add more to the pot. So there is part of it that is years and years old. And then here is Pierna de Guajolote, which is just basically a turkey leg. The entrees were super delicious. The ribeye came with something that was kind of a cross between a mole and a steak sauce. Really yummy. And then the duck was perfectly tender, fall off the bone. And then it had a pipián amarillo, or a yellow pipián. So it had that nuttiness from the pepinos, but it also had a really nice spice to it. So very, very delicious, very impressed. And now we've decided to order 2 desserts because we thought, we're having some difficulty deciding. Why do we have to decide? We have the chocolate cake here, and then we have the tamal with 4 different chocolates, and then we each got a carajillo.
So overall, this meal was one of our favorites in Oaxaca.
I do have to say, though, I would skip the desserts. The carajillo was far from the best we've had, and the tamal was a little bit dry, and it didn't really have that much chocolate filling, so it was just mostly like the corn dough. And then the chocolate cake was kind of like a normal chocolate cake. It wasn't really anything special, so that added quite a bit to the bill because this place was a bit pricey. So I'd say just stick to the moles. They were fantastic, and of course the salsa that they made tableside was great as well.
Tonight we have a reservation at Casa Oaxaca.
This is definitely the hottest restaurant in Oaxaca. You need to make a reservation about a week and a half to 2 weeks out. As of right now, there's nothing available for the next 8 days. So we're gonna head inside.
We just finished up our dinner over at Casa Oaxaca, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, I think we just had the best meal we've had in Oaxaca. We started with cocktails. David got the margarita, and I got the Casa Oaxaca, which was made with mezcal and ginger beer. Absolutely fantastic. Then we got the tacos, which were made with suckling pig. Super delicious. What did you get?
I got the lechon.
And that had like a mole.
Yeah, yellow mole.
And the mole had like this very cardamom, cinnamon, kind of warm, spicy flavor. We each got glasses of wine with dinner. And then I got the beef cheek, which was in a red chili sauce. Super delicious. And then we finished with dessert. I took a chance again and got a chocolate dessert, and theirs was the chocolate dessert I was hoping for. The other night we were at a different restaurant. We got 2. I was really disappointed. Here I was not disappointed at all. Some people say that Casa Oaxaca is a little bit overhyped. I don't think it was. The service started out a little bit slow, but after that they kind of got in their groove. Service was great, and the food, I literally have no complaints. Everything was cooked perfect, seasoned perfect. It was great. We chose to dine at the restaurants that we did due to their ratings on Google and also the reputation in some Facebook groups. So needless to say, we weren't disappointed by any of them. And now here's our ranking of these 10 restaurants. Our favorite was Casa Oaxaca. It is definitely popular and it is definitely pricey, but it is for a reason. Number 2 was Restaurant Coronita. We actually visited this restaurant a second time. Their mole sampler was super impressive and reasonably priced. Ancestral comes in at number 3 for its wide array of unique dishes. Number 4 is Asador Bacanora, a seriously delicious steakhouse. Number 5, Las Quince Letras. We enjoyed our meal here, no complaints. Number 6 was Akote. Absolutely delicious tacos in a laid-back environment. Number 7, Levadura de Olla. Number 8, Los Danzantes. Number 9, El Escapulario. And rounding out the top 10, Tierra del Sol. The food there was good, but those desserts did disappoint, and at that price point, I kind of expect things to be almost perfect. Thanks for watching. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please leave them down below. And if you haven't already, you should check out this video here, where we visit some of the best mezcal distilleries around Oaxaca.